Hey guys, I'm gonna do a garden update. I'm gonna show you guys what all is in our garden right now. So let's have a look. Alright, I'm gonna start right here. This is where we have Morning Glories and Wandering Jews, which I've had these for the last couple of years. The Morning Glories are insane with the takeover. They take over everything, so they are kind of taking over with the Morning Glories, so I'm kind of just letting them share the flower bed right now without getting too out of control. Underneath here there is a rose plant that I keep partially shaded, but it does grow kind of like pinkish flowers. So then over here, a ton of more Morning Glories. However, these get the most sun, and this is Texas, so the heat is really oppressive. Most of our days lately have been at least 103 or 4 for the high. So the sun has kind of been burning up quite a few of our plants. So when the weather is at peak, like in the early fall and in the spring, when it's not horribly hot, the Morning Glories cover like the whole entire ground here, and you don't see all that empty space. They're just like super fluffy when they are at their peak, kind of like those over there. But anyways, so you can see they're all up on the trellises, and they've grown so much that I do have to trim the ends because there's just not enough room for them. But yeah, so over here, these are our garden boxes that we built with our neighbors. So our upstairs neighbors share these with us. We share in the work and we share in the harvest of that. So these, we have some sunflowers over here. This one looked really good just like 2 days ago, but now it's burned up. But yeah, these down here were like, I want to say peace lilies, but again, burned up pretty bad. We have grasshoppers and katydids everywhere. We've even developed a wasp problem. So yeah, but as you can see, we got one here, very pretty. So sunflowers. We also keep some potted plants out too. That one down there was a chia, but it died. It could not take the heat, so the chias kind of died. Here we have, so these right here, I'm not entirely sure. There are several different things in here. These are some peppers we have growing. Some of these do better than others, you know, and a lot of it is experimentation. I've never actually really had a super green thumb, so we just do our best. But some tomatoes, we harvested a few yesterday and the day before. There were like 4, I think. Some shamrocks. Believe it or not, the shamrocks have done way better than I expected. We do water all of this every day. And then I also have my indoor plants, which I usually keep about 4 to 5 inside at a time. These are cucumbers. And I forget what we had growing over here, but they pretty much all died. So I have had to take most of them out. And we did plant some carrots, but they did not really thrive. So yeah. And then we have the cucumbers. You can see there's one right here. So the first one we harvested was like really bitter. So I got one of these last night. I'm gonna chop it up tonight or tomorrow and see how it is. But yeah, the first one was really bitter though. But these are pretty big, and they're doing pretty well. So yeah, cucumbers. So all of this, and I come out here every day and I trim off like some of the dead dry leaves and stuff like that. There are a ton of them, so I can't get them all, but I do my best. So it wraps all the way around this tree. This tree is beautiful. It's big. It's a big tree. It's a nice tree. Very tall. Anyways, so yeah, and then we have our cucumbers, more all over here. So, and I love the way it wraps around the tree all the way to the wall. And then the last one back here, we did have some rosemary, and I think it was, I don't remember what it was. There was some other herb. but they died. So I want to say that it was cilantro or something, and then the chives just recently died over the last week or two, so I had to take those out, but they all completely died too. So that one, I'm not exactly entirely sure what this is right here. This was not one that I planted. That one, same thing, is drying up pretty bad, so I don't know if it'll last or not. It might. And then this is a jasmine tree. When we open our window, we can smell it, and it smells amazing. And when it's not so hot, it gets little white flowers on it, so it's really pretty, but the smell is amazing. So we do get a lot of wildlife in our our gardens. As you can see here, this spider, very, very beautiful spider. So we don't disturb them. We just let them be. But we find all kinds of things like this. We find a lot of toads, a lot of different types of spiders. And we found one grass snake, but that was like a few months ago, and that's the only one we found. So yeah, only ever seen one little tiny baby snake, surprisingly. But we have tons of cats, so I think that's probably why. But again, that's about what we have for now. We haven't really planted anything new lately just because it's so oppressively hot, like I said, and nothing's really, a lot of stuff is just not even wanting to come up. I planted like some bell peppers, and they are barely starting to kind of come up, like seedlings, but yeah. Same with, I tried to do a new tomato plant, but I'm really not good with tomato plants. I tend to fail epically with tomato plants. I don't know why. But anyways, yeah, so back around, and that's about it. So I'll update you guys again over the next month. I know I have not done a garden update in a while. And I'm gonna be kind of talking about each individual plant and kind of like, you know, caring for it. Not every single plant, but several of them at least I will be doing separate videos on. So stay tuned.